Welcome back, Danger Cats, to another podcast of Getting to Know the Cats. Today, in-house, we got Brody Laplante, our videographer, very good friend of mine as well. We're just going to sit and bullshit some good stories, some funny fucking stories, that's for sure. Also, if you are looking for some Danger Cats swag, head on over to dangercats.tv. Use the code podcast69, get 15% off your order. Also, new episode up of 9 Lives. That's right. Check it out at watchdctv.com to sign up. And once you sign up there, you can hit up the fucking app in the App Store on Google Play and iTunes. It's on Roku as well. And yeah, all right. Get ready for the episode. Welcome back to another episode of Getting to Know the Cats. We got old Mr. Brody Laplante, a.k.a. videographer, Willie Weatherman, bringing you the Weatherman.
It's one of my multiple aliases.
Yeah, one of your favorite ones, or?
It probably is one of my most favorite ones because I just get to act completely erratic when I am him. I give a horrible version of the weather if you've never seen it. It's actually embarrassing, but
on the FNN network, the most reliable news source on the planet.
What's funny about that is before all of this started, I actually just to a small little group of friends that I had at the time, I was Will O'Reilly, and I did weather reports on my Snapchat, like shooting a shotgun into the sky at the clouds. But yeah, so I don't know, I've had the weatherman in my fucking bones ever since I've been a young little lad. So weatherman at fucking heart.
Ever since I exited the womb, I just had this knack for
I just like the forecast.
I'm a nature guy, man.
Yeah, when I was younger, my mom always asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I was like, "Fuck you. You know the answer to that. I want to be the goddamn weatherman." I want to tell people when it's fucking cold out.
I want to tell them things they already know.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Almost 1 year of solid friendships, eh? It was like
I think our anniversary is like March 26th or something. I don't want to be too accurate, but that was the day I stepped into the office after crushing a tall boy in the parking lot.
And you're sober this month.
I am.
Sober is January.
Oh man, this is the longest I've ever been sober since I've been, I think, 5 or 6 years old. No, but in all seriousness, I've just been an absolute weapon since I turned like 15 or 16, and I was smoking or drinking or putting whatever the fuck I could in my body just for the sake of
Jesus.
Just for the sake of it felt better than it did when I was sober, so why not, right? But yeah, I'm trying to think. I think it was Aldous Huxley. He says a scientist can only stay looking through the microscope for so long. He's got to go back to the table and talk about what he actually seen under the microscope. But I had my eye glued to the fucking microscope for about a solid 7 to 8 years, and I just did not walk away from it. Like, I remember the peak of this was probably 2 to 3 years ago. I walked around on mushrooms for the entire summer. I was never on mushrooms. The only time I wasn't was when I was sleeping, and like everybody knew it. Like, they'd see me walking around town talking to the trees and stuff. They're like, "Oh, you must have got a fresh bag of psilocybin or something." But yeah, I don't know. It just fucking something clicked after Christmas there, and I just decided to go cold turkey. I quit everything from cigarettes to cannabis to fucking alcohol, you name it. I'm off it. Processed sugars, I've been eating clean or trying to. And
did your body go through this weird weird withdrawal period?
You know what? It's weird because a lot of people ask that. They're like, what are you withdrawing from the most? What do you miss the most?
Probably
it's like
sugar.
But it's like, I don't.
I guess, how do you know?
I can't pinpoint what I'm withdrawing from because I left everything, right? It's just like I don't know where the withdrawals are coming from. I just know I felt different, but the list of positive things that came from this far outweighs like the list of negative things, like, you know, not being like in the insomnia of, you know, not drinking before bed or whatever, because I just fucking drink myself to a pulp and fall down, you know what I mean? So like it's you know, that definitely, the first week trying to sleep was probably one of the hardest things ever, but now that I'm kind of like past that threshold, it's like my productivity's through the roof. Like I used to take like 5 to 6 naps a day just because I was fucking smoking gaggers every 45 minutes. But yeah, now I'm just like, you know, back to fucking just like functioning at 100% battery. I'm no longer like an old iPhone 5 that has like a 30-minute charge and then she's just fucking passed out.
You're a 3G phone in an LTE world, brother.
Dude, exactly. So I don't know. I'm definitely not putting the that part of me behind. I'm definitely going to come back to it. But right now I'm just stepped away from the microscope for a little
bit.
Do
you think like maybe in the future you're going to pick your battles a little more wisely, or are you going back full retard?
You know what? It's hard to. I can't even answer for myself. I'm the type of guy where even I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing fucking once I walk out of these doors. Never mind what I'm doing in, you know, a couple weeks from now. But yeah, I don't know. I just, with the summer we had last year,
wild,
it was absolutely insane.
Best summer of your life, would you say?
Yes, absolutely. I've never experienced anything like last summer, from boat parties with strippers to putting on, I don't know how many fucking strip clubs we've hosted parties at.
Yeah, right.
Like I have buddies who haven't even stepped foot in the strip club. It's like, dude, that's my office. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that was my office last summer. So yeah, everything from that to Al Benasaki's, where you and I got kind of cut loose from Johnny and Jordan for the weekend.
that was probably the funnest. The boat party was my funnest time.
Yes.
My funnest weekend was us out at FRCC. Yes. It was just we got the shots we wanted, and it was
you and I, an open road, fucking as much liquor as we could humanly consume. Like we were living lives. Like it was like I thought I was in goddamn heaven for the weekend, but it was a little different than the Kelowna trip because we had Johnny and Jord there with us. So like, you know, we were, because they don't, I was listening to Johnny's podcast this morning. He already brought it up, but Hack and I aren't allowed to room together, and it's like not even our decision. It's like just for the best. Like we should not be in the same room because we, you know, like who knows what would happen.
Oh man,
I don't even want to think about it.
No, it is for the better, because I know me and you are like the same personality type, where we're like, man, if I go to bed I might miss something fun.
Yes, yeah, it's like the FOMO, the fear of missing out. Mm-hmm. Like you and I combined, it's like just like MC squared get fucked. You know what I mean? Like, yes. And like if we roomed together, they would go knocking on our door at 3 a.m. to make sure we were asleep, and we wouldn't even be there. There'd be a fucking bunch of t-shirts tied together leading out of the window, and somehow we escaped and we're at an after party somewhere.
The old prison escape trick. Hey, we stuff the bed to make it look
sheets,
like,
the bed sheets, tie the bed sheets together and fucking rappel down into the parking lot.
And then we got the pillows underneath the cover to make it look like we're in bed. Oh, those two boys are sleeping right now.
Exactly.
And here we are just flatlined at some fucking house party, and we don't know a soul.
Yeah, you're trying to fucking give me CPR on the side of the street as our Uber's arriving.
Oh no, it's fine. He does this all the time.
I remember one of the funniest fucking stories that like I can remember from Hack and I at an after party was in, oh god, I don't even know where it was, Lethbridge maybe. It was after Top Hat round 2. Lethbridge.
Yeah.
And Hack and I end up at an after party all night, like right till the fucking sun comes up, and we call a cab and it comes and picks us up. I spent the entire night at the party with a Sharpie, getting everybody to tattoo me with this Sharpie. So I had teardrop tattoos. I had like somebody wrote like bitch on my forehead. Like my entire neck was tattooed. I would go up to everyone at the party and be like, all right, like hit me, like find an open spot and give me a tattoo. And I like somehow lost track of these tattoos, and I forgot that I looked like that. So I hop in the cab like I'm not covered in fucking fucking Sharpie tattoos head to toe, and I'm just like bullshitting with him, like, oh, how's your night? Like, nice, you just started, cool. Like, what time do you start? But he's looking at me like, is this kid fucking for real? Like, are those right? Are those real? Is that Sharpie? Is he okay? Should I drop him off at the hospital? Yeah. And Hack and I are completely oblivious. Like, Hack's still fucking just yapping his mouth in the back. Like, he's like, these two are just out of this fucking world retarded.
Two morons, absolute idiots.
Oh, I have a fucking grocery list of stories of you and I for like throughout the summer.
You know, and if you're one of those guys that instant connect, like, you know, when you go on a hockey team and like there's that group, like you look at a guy and you're like, yeah, I think me and you are going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah. It's like whether we're line mates or not, whether we're allowed to stay in the same room or not, we got it going on. Yeah, we got it figured out. That's how it is. For sure.
Instant buddies right away.
Oh, like Vegas was a prime example of that.
Yeah, me and you were thick as thieves because Jordan just wanted gambling. Me and you were more into this drinking and soaking it in.
Yeah, it was like, hey, Jordy, you want to play fucking blackjack for 18 hours wearing your goddamn American flag outfit? We're going to be at Swingers Club.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Let's tell that fucking story. I don't think anybody's heard this one.
No, we may have mentioned it on the Vegas recap.
Did we? Yeah, we kind of
I don't think we really went into detail, like you and I. Like, yeah. I think our recollection of this story, Jordan was just more so just there listening.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. It kind of starts with the guy who we had kind of brought us down there. He was kind of hosting our weekend. Arthur Andreas, shout out to him. The guy's an absolute fucking weapon.
Like him and Austin. Remember his driver, Austin?
Yeah. He was a fourth generation Vegas. Like, that's how he introduced it. I'm fourth generation. Like, it was just like, holy fuck, you
letting
guys
us fucking see his pistol. Look at this. I've got 9 knives on me, and you'll never guess where they are.
I'm pretty, it was loaded too. Like, can I see your pistol? Yeah, let me take the rounds out. He like fucking takes every bullet out. It's like, okay, but yeah, it all started with, we had left the high roller. We did the Ferris wheel type thing. Got to see Vegas from that, which was fucking pretty incredible. And we're driving back, and old Arthur's just like, now I'm gonna show you guys something that you know, us here in Vegas we call Transsexual Avenue.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, great, I can't wait. He takes us to Tranny Ave. I wasn't expecting to see a tranny. I'm like, there's no fucking way. We roll up, sure as shit, there's like some 6'4" fucking transsexual in like a mini skirt, like looking like a fucking NBA basketball player.
Looking like a snack.
Yeah. And Arthur's cat calling him or her out of the window. He's like, what's he call her? Hey, Jamal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like, dude, man, you need to knock this off. You're going to get a shot.
Her pimp is in the parking lot watching us do this right now.
I like how you use the proper terminology there.
What?
Her pimp.
Yeah. Well,
hey, very forward thinking of you.
Yes. But, yeah, so we come rolling around the bend. This whole Transsexual Ave is an absolute write-off. There's, like, dive gay bars, like this and that. We didn't know what I didn't even want to breathe in. There was a biological hazard to even fucking inhale in that part of town.
It was sketchy.
And we roll up to this room. It's Arthur called it the green room. What is it called?
That's the name of it. Yeah.
And we didn't know what the fuck it was.
He's like, go in there, guys. Remember? Oh no, he tricked us. He's like, come in with me. This is a fucking good club.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Now us three are gonna go in there and have a good time. We're gonna talk to the lady at the front. We're all gonna get wristbands, and it's gonna be the time of our lives.
Yeah, and then he fucking snaked in there. Me and you both paid $80.
No, it was $100 American to get. It was $100 American to get into there. Oh my god! And then we look back. Hack and I are like looking at our wristbands. We're like, okay,
what the fuck is this?
I was trying to look on the wristband. I'm like, what is this place? Like what? And then we look back, and Arthur's like fucking weaseling his way out of the door. He's like, all right, I'll be in the parking lot. Have a good time.
He's like, go in there and check it out and let me know how it is.
Yeah, and
before I come in.
Which is always like a red flag, because it's like, if somebody ever brings you to a venue or an establishment and they don't want to go in, that's a fucking red flag.
Big time.
Like something's telling me that they don't want to be in there, which is in turn telling me that I shouldn't fucking be in here.
Mm-hmm. But something is intriguing me here.
Yes, exactly, because the way they had it set up, they didn't want you to see much, right? So all we could really see was the end of this hall, and we could see it turned right. So curiosity killed the cat.
What got me though is when he's like, yeah, there's 9 couples here and 3 single women and 4 single men.
He gave us a quick lowdown.
I'm like, oh, okay, I know what this is. We're at a swingers club.
Yeah.
That's when it started clicking in.
So
like, this should be interesting.
Yeah. So being the Canadians we are, our instincts kick in and we walk up to the bar and hack. Well, we'll get 2 beers. Oh, sorry, gentlemen, we don't serve liquor here.
But since you've paid already, you can go to the gay bar next door and have a drink, and you're more than welcome to come back.
Yeah, because those wristbands actually work until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So we look at each other. We're like, we're already in too deep. We're like, you know what? Make it 2 fucking aquas. And we proceed into this next room that consists of beaded... open area, but there was this bed in the middle with, you ever see the bead doors? Basically, think of a bead door that completely perimeters the bed in the middle of the room. So Hack and I were like, okay, let's just take a seat and see what this is about. And we sit down. It wasn't until we sat down that I actually noticed there was people inside of the bead room. And basically we just took a front row spectator seat and had no idea.
No, we're like sitting there bullshitting, and all of a sudden you heard like this, oh, woo, 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 something like.
Yeah, that's what got me the most was the noises, because I was trying for the life of me to not make it uncomfortable for the people who are, gladly putting on a show for us. I didn't want to be rude, so I'm sitting there, we're sipping our waters, and we're just listening to the humanly noises coming out of their fucking bodies. And we really were like, is this it? Like, is this a quiet night? Is this this isn't too exhilarating? So we figured we'd go take a piss, and that ended up into some sort of sex dungeon of a bathroom where you could
watch people shit.
You got to watch people shit. I'm pretty sure that the bidets cleaned you while you were fucking them while they shit, or however that worked. It looked like a fucking torture contraption, to be honest. And they were unisex washrooms, which I think they're ahead of times in Canada, where we just kind of started putting these in. Apparently they've already had that at swingers clubs in Vegas for who knows how long.
Since the dawn of time.
The highlight of the being in that swingers club was the fact that the number of men outweighed the number of women, probably 4 to 1, 5 to 1.
Easily.
So think there's 15 to 20 guys frolicking around in there, and there's only 3 to 4 available women. So you can only imagine the dilemma that created for us, trying
17 wolves in a single hen house.
Exactly, fucking goddamn. So Hack and I are trying every room out. We're trying to get feel for the place. So we're in this room that had minimal lighting where I couldn't even see him from like a foot away. We're sitting on these couches. It's this weird purple lighting almost.
Now, not to cut you off or anything, but looking back, we shouldn't have been sitting on those couches. I bet you that they are just disgusting.
Oh my god, if you had brought a black light in there, that fucking place, you'd be blinded.
Oh my god.
And the thing with that too is you can smell it. Like you can tell that place has been getting fucked on for 30 plus years.
Oh yeah.
Like it literally smells like a mix of running 5 miles and taking your underwear off, and then just the worst fucking broad's groin you've ever smelled. It was horrible. Once you got past the smell though, which it was hard to do, but we fucking kind of grew accustomed to it. And the thing with this too is with the ratio of men to women, Hack and I could not help but notice that the guys were literally popping up like fucking whack-a-mole. They're coming out one door into the other. They're asking us, was there a girl in that room you just came from? I don't know. I couldn't even fucking see. It's pitch black in there.
Yeah.
And so everyone's trying to find these fucking elusive women, and they're trying to wonder where they are. And everybody started to kind of corral into the back room. I just remember that. I remember going out, looking in the bead room. The couple was gone. My water's still there. We grab our water. We're like, what the fuck? Where's everyone going? They're all going to the back room. We hadn't checked the back room yet out. We're like, okay, let's go see what the fucking commotion is back here. And at this point I was kind of comfortable. I wasn't when I first got there, I'm I'm going to fucking laugh out loud and get kicked out of here or whatever the fucking protocol is. But I was like, dude, in my head, I'm like, do not laugh. Keep it under control. Like, you're an adult. This is very serious. People do this. Like,
yeah.
I'd never been in one before. Like, I've only ever heard about it. And we get to the back room, and what we saw next, I will never, like, I'm going to be in a old folks home with, like, end stage dementia. And all I'm going to be seeing is the scene that I seen in that back room. And what it was, I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can, and Hack, you can help me. But we go in there and we look at the back wall. The couple that was in the bead room and then like the lobby of the place has now taken position in the back room, which I guess essentially is a modern day torture chamber.
Yeah, it was like BDSM shit going on.
Yeah, like
there.
there was like guillotine chopping blocks that you could fucking like put a master lock on and throw away the key, and you got yourself a goddamn night's worth. But yeah, on the back wall, the guy who was doing whatever he was doing to the woman in the bead room is now taking the role of the victim, and he is shackled to suspending chains that came down from the roof. His hands are shackled.
It was on one of those X boards, like those.
Yes.
I don't know the proper terminology for it, but it's like to chain somebody up.
Yes,
to torture
I'm sure
them.
some of you sex addicts who listen to this podcast on a regular occasion could
understand this.
Could understand and probably put a name to it for us. But he's chained up to this X board, and I immediately was like, "This is fucked." But it's one of those things that like you can't look away. You know, like once you, it's like staring at Medusa. Once you fucking hit her eyes, you're done for. Like,
yeah.
I was under hypnosis. I remember we just sat down. I couldn't even like break my eye contact because I didn't want to miss anything. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
And then you got the giggles.
Yes, and then we're sitting there. Well, and how that came about was we're sitting there, and I leaned over to Hack, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm gonna laugh. He's like, shut up, just
shut the fuck up, Brody.
Don't
laugh.
Don't keep it under control. And
you forgot to tell him we didn't even explain our outfits.
Oh my god.
I was in cheetah print pants and then a floral fucking button down with a full brim hat, looking like and then you were in the Willy Weatherman outfit.
To rewind this just a bit, we'll come right back. But that morning, Hack and I kind of looked at each other. We're in the hotel. He's like, fuck, what should I wear today? He's like pulling all this fucking ridiculous tourism, like just looking like an absolute Canadian danger cat tourist. He's got his cheetah pants. He's got a fucking sun hat. And he's like, should we go ridiculous today? And knowing Hack and I, we got the same fucking personality. I'm like, I packed a ridiculous outfit as well because I knew at some point it was coming out. So I have this like super breathable, like tropical fucking, the shorts match the top, like it is just a fucking unbelievable outfit. And I wore that, and like, so later that night we still hadn't taken it off. It's like pitch black in Vegas, but still it's, you know, for Canadians, it's just, everyone's there is all fucking bundled up, and we're just still in like our goddamn tourism gear like we're on the beach in fucking Mexico. And so yeah, we wore this right all the way until we were at the swingers club. So we were already getting fucking looked at weird. Like they thought maybe there was a special event that night and you and I were going to do something crazy and that we worked there, or I don't know. But so yeah, Hack and I stuck out like sore thumbs, which is saying something if you're at a swingers club in Vegas. Like if you're sticking out in a swingers club in Vegas, like you had to try pretty hard. So we're sitting there and I'm like, dude, I'm going to fucking laugh. Like I need just to look away. He's like, dude, just shut the fuck up. Like, this is Jesus Christ. So I'm looking at it, I'm biting my lip. I'm like, okay, just hold it in. And I'm watching, and it's like supposed to be they're very serious about it. It's sensual. They're like having some groundbreaking experience and
like some tantric.
Yes, like bonding with each other. Like, and so there is Hack and I, and then there is probably 8 to 9 men, 2 lesbians, and we're all ranging. I was probably the youngest there at 24, and it went all the way up to about 82. There was that 80-year-old man.
That old guy sitting on the left hand, and he was about 5 feet away from the action.
Oh, he was looking like he just uncovered a fucking chest of gold, man. He was just like,
and he looked like Herbert the pervert off Family Guy.
Like he could hear us talking, and he's just like, shh. shut the fuck up. This is
I'm enjoying
serious.
this.
Yeah, you guys are ruining my experience. So yeah, we're all sitting there like watching, like it's a demonstration. Like we're all gonna fucking participate after, and yeah. Next thing I know, she has him shackled, and like at first the whispering was kind of inaudible. You couldn't really hear it. It was kind of mumbling. Like I'm like, well, I wonder what she's fucking saying to him. And then the quieter it got once I shut the fuck up. Well, I could hear what they were saying, and he's like, don't leave me, don't leave me. And like I'm trying so hard not to laugh because she
forgot about that when she was yanking on his horn. You remember that?
Oh my god!
You remember that? And she's like fucking yanking on his horn like it's a church bell roll.
That's what made me start laughing. Like that's what started like the hysterics in my mind. Was his pants weren't even off. They were around his fucking ankles, like the special kid in your class in the fucking washroom where you walk up to the urinal and it's like, buddy, do they need to go down that far? Like, come on, I'm just pulling my bird out. But yeah, his ankles are around, or his pants are around his fucking ankles, and she's tugging on his horn. He's not even hard at this point because he's being absolutely ashamed in front of fucking 8 people. Like, I would not be able to get hard under those circumstances. So, yeah, she's tugging on his horn, and I am trying for the life of, like, I'm thinking of dead puppies and fucking everything I can to turn my, the comedy off in my mind. And that leads to she lets go of his cock, and she's like, I'm gonna leave you. And like in my head I'm like you're gonna leave your relationship, like, yeah, are you breaking up with him? And no, she meant I'm gonna leave your perimeter and your proximity, and because you're chained up, you won't be able to follow me. You're gonna have to stay chained. And so she was threatening him at this point that she was gonna fucking walk away and leave him chained up naked in front of us. And so all I can hear is him like, no, don't leave me. And like, I'm looking at Ack like, dude, I'm gonna fucking laugh so hard or I need to leave this room. And she's backing up and just baiting him. He's following her like, no. He gets to a point where he can't anymore. So you picture a dog that's on a leash and you throw a steak right out of its fucking reach. And it is just like trying to get to that steak. But the owner and her being the owner in this situation knows he cannot get that steak. So she's fucking with him. She's degrading him, which, just probably the only thing you could do in that room to somebody is degrade them. And he wants her so bad that he is like moaning like, no, and she's like, I'm leaving you. And he's trying to get to her. He looks like the Passion of the fucking Christ up on the cross. Like his arms can't come any further. He's trying to fucking lick her. He's just trying to do everything he can to get his hands on her. Yeah. And at this point I'm laughing so hard into my shirt like that I had to leave the room. And it wasn't shortly after that you came out, because I don't know what happened, but they finished. But I was in the hallway just trying to regain my fucking mind, because it was one of the most like I felt like I was at an age like, like when kids, they get kind of abused when they're younger or whatever the case might be. Everything when you're younger, you retain it so much more. Yeah. It's so much more real, and you get like that almost that trauma feeling from it. Yeah. I felt like it gave me that. I thought I had PTSD leaving that fucking place. And Hack and I were trying to find our way out, and it was like the only way I could describe it is like these guys trying to find the girls the entire time, and even Hack when we were trying to find the exit. It's like going to a haunted house and you're trying to find the exit, and everyone's coming out of the rooms and they're going into different rooms, and they're all like, is the exit in that room? Where is it? Like Hack and I are trying to find our way out of here, and as we're going out, like this must have been 5-10 minutes later, we finished our fucking waters, and that same couple, the
two lesbians, but yes, they only spoke Spanish, and the one chick was trying to talk to them. Hey, do you want to torture a guy with me? And they couldn't speak a lick of English, so it was just a broken conversation. Yes, it was like, we need to get the fuck out of here.
And you could tell that they knew, like they had just watched her fucking absolutely degrade him in front of them, so they knew what she was offering. They knew that she meant that she had a male in the back room who they could do whatever the fuck they want to.
They should have went and punted him right in the cock. I would have died to see that.
Dude, that fuck. And so Hack and I finally find our way out of that goddamn dungeon, and we come up beelining out of that fucking front door of the green room like have you ever seen somebody come out of a fucking Walmart with and they just shoplifted and they got something out of the shirt? They're walking at it like
an incredible pace.
Yeah, an incredible pace. That was us. We were looking over our shoulder like we were being fucking followed. And who do we see in the parking lot? Mr. Arthur fucking Andreas. He's sitting in his goddamn Jimmy or whatever the fuck he drives around in. And he's just laughing because he knows he just sent 2 Canadians and threw them to the fucking wolves. And we had no idea what to expect. And he's just fucking howling out the window at us. He's like, so how is that? It's like, just turn the fucking car on. Get us the hell out of here.
Oh, man. That's it. No, what's funny is I back when I had a little swinger kick there for a bit, some nice lady took me to one in Calgary.
Yeah.
And I walked in through the front doors, and I think I've talked about it on the podcast. I know I have, and it was an early episode. But anyways, I walk in, and I'm looking around, and there's nothing going on. I looked at her, I was like, thought people come here to fuck. And she's like, 1 second, follow me. And we go up these flight of stairs, and the first thing I see is just this guy hammering on this girl. I look over in the other room, and there's a fucking orgy going on. Then there's a walk path going over. There's another orgy going on. It was fucking incredible to see.
Dude, that's always what I thought I would experience if I went to a swingers club. But I just had this weird, offbeat, unorthodox experience that just left me in shambles. It's did I gain anything from that? I feel like that made my life
almost worse. You got a story.
Worse.
That's it.
Exactly. But that was fucking one of the most memorable experiences of my life.
Oh, God.
And Hack and I were kind of we kind of lost touch with Jordan throughout the night, but we knew that he was obviously still in his fucking American flag outfit. And we're pulling back up to the Paris hotel where we were staying, and I'm like to Hack, I'm like, man, dude, should we call Jordan? You think we're gonna be able to find him? He looks at me like I'm fucking retarded. He's like, you know what he's wearing? He's still in his fucking American outfit. We're gonna be able to find him. Sure as shit, we walk into Paris.
I even told you he's either at the roulette table or he's playing blackjack.
Yeah.
We come around that corner, and what do we see? Old Stars and Bars himself just sitting there losing money.
And the way he was slumped over that roulette table, because he was fucking out of his mind, just fucking cranked on the alcohol. And that night he had fallen off the In-N-Out sign, which is going to be in our Vegas episode of 9 Lives, if you guys tune into that. But yeah, he took a fucking spill at the High Roller in Vegas and fell off the In-N-Out sign. And just I guaranteed he was absolutely concussed. No hospital needed. He could barely fucking get up. Never mind being drunk. It's so much worse. But yeah, he's bent over or slouched over the roulette table in what I could only describe as Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa fashion when he's sitting at the bar in his Santa outfit.
Miserable.
Just miserable, grizzly old man. Yeah, we're losing money. And we come up, and I don't know if he thought mistook us for his waitress or something, but he's like, where's my whiskey? Oh, it's just you boys. How's it going? It's like, Jesus Christ.
We need to get away from him because I feel like he's pissing everybody off. Everybody in the vicinity of him was just miserable.
The look that the roulette dealer gave us, he gave us that look you guys, this piece of shit?
Yeah. He's
been fucking harassing me all night. He gave us that look in about a split second. We knew exactly what was wrong because we've had to spend how many fucking months with that kid.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind, if we were taking his money, I couldn't imagine how much more annoying he would get. But
no shit.
But yeah, he was probably full-fledged just fucking annoying the piss out of that goddamn roulette dealer. So shout out to you for even putting up with him for longer than a fucking
if you ever hear this, we apologize on behalf of our retarded friend.
The worst part about that he had bought, Hack and I, like I said, we have the same fucking personality. So we packed an outfit to look ridiculous. We didn't even plan it. He pulled one out. I'm like, oh, fucking look at this. I pull mine out. We already fucking knew what was up. Jordan, for some reason, didn't. But, it's hilarious because with the outfits Hack and I were wearing, those outfits, we stuck out like sore fucking thumbs. We did not fit in, but because both of Hack and I were wearing those outfits, Jordan looked like the idiot, which is hilarious because he was wearing like, you know, typical Las Vegas attire, so he fit right in, but he was so out of place standing beside us, so it prompted him to show up at this fucking, you know, little dive clothing boutique just off the strip.
Yeah.
And he comes up flying out of there in his fucking American outfit. The worst part is though, is like, this is months later, like we're in winter in Canada. He wears that fucking American hoodie to work. Like he wore it like 3 weeks ago. I'm like,
it drives me up the wall
like,
when
dude,
I see his ass in it.
I thought you bought that for the occasion, not to fucking wear to work.
Right? Oh my God, you're just
Jesus
a dumbass of a human. Now here's one for you. What would you pinpoint like the time where you were like, okay, I can make a viable living off this? And also, what was your favorite moment? Like blended, like where it just like settled in your brain that we can make almost a career out of this?
Like you're saying, when did that kind of hit me?
Yeah.
It wasn't initially at all, because I remember when I first started, I knew that like, aside from the clothing, there really wasn't a media aspect to it. So I was like, you know, it kind of felt like we were starting from scratch. So I was like, you know, that's all good. Like, I don't mind that. But in my mind, when we initially started, I never ever thought that it would become such a lucrative, you know,
like opportunity, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, because you know, we had the idea of DCTV.
Yeah.
And, you know, at the time it was just kind of like a theory or a hypothetical, you know, like
okay, let's try this.
Exactly,
maybe
exactly.
Could it be viable?
And you know, it's weird because any idea I've ever really had like that, where at first I was like, it all starts in the mind, right? It all starts with an idea, and for some reason we weren't making any money at the time. Like I was like, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for us, like everyone, we were all dead fucking broke trying to get this thing off the ground.
Yeah.
And you know, there were some nights where I'd just be laying there like, did I make the right fucking decision? Like,
oh yeah, I hear you.
I am invested so heavily in this, and you know, like my life is consumed by just traveling and getting all this content and trying to put together this TV show and build this app. And you know, I didn't really see it as that it would become a career. I thought maybe it would be a little stint that, you know, if we could pull off, we might make a quick bit of money and, you know, kind of cut our losses and, you know, go from there. But I don't think it was until, to be honest, it wasn't until I made the first 9 Lives episode and had it done that I realized, holy fuck, we're on to something here. Because when we were initially like in production for season 1 and we went down south was our first episode, I remember compiling all the footage just over the summer. I'd keep dropping it onto a hard drive, and I had an idea of how I wanted it to kind of go down in my head and how I wanted it to like look. Yeah. But I had never done a TV show up until that point. I had dealt with music videos and fucking wedding videos and commercials for businesses, so I was excited to do a TV show, but I was kind of scared that my excitement was just excitement to do a TV show, and that, you know, there wouldn't be anything that came out of it. I was like, man, I really hope I'm not just chasing the fucking goddamn whatever's dangling in front of me, and that, you know, exactly, and that it, you know. So it wasn't until the first 9 Lives episode came out and like I brought it, I was so excited to bring it here to show all of you, because like none of us knew how it was going to look. No. We had it in mind, but even when we were in production for it, we didn't really know, like we were kind of just going off the cuff, right? Yeah. Like we were just like, turn that fucking camera on and let's see what we can get. Like, you know, we were kind of just living in the moment, and so I couldn't really see like even 2 inches in front of me at that time. I was like, Jesus Christ, let's just hope this works, right? And yeah, it wasn't until I did completed episode 1 and we got the interviews in there and kind of got our concrete episode that I was like, fuck, like I think this is it. Like everything that we kind of like, you know, hypothetically put in a theory, and we're like, you know, like we'll do this TV show and, you know, we can get drive subscribers to the app and, you know, get them to watch our TV series, right? Yeah. And yeah, it wasn't until we kind of started pumping that out when I was like, it became reality. And it was like, you know what, this is something that we are so fucking heavily invested in, and I think it's gonna fucking pay off. And now we have multiple homegrown series that we've produced ourselves, like some that have reached the likes of Global and stuff like that.
Yep.
And you know, it's only getting bigger by the day. Like we have our, you know, like contracts in place with huge names, and it's just every day that goes by, something, it all makes more sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like we're in the entertainment business now.
Exactly.
It took a long time for me to fucking wrap my head around that too. Like this is entertainment. This is what you know, like I've always dreamt of like doing something like this and like thinking about it, and like I never knew how to put it into play. You know, when you're a kid and you're like, you had the video camera and we're making skate videos, this and that, and you're like, I want to do this. I want to do this.
Yes.
I didn't think it was going to be at 27 years old, 26 years old that you would start this venture into this conglomerate of like, we're still trying to figure out what we're doing. And like now, it's almost like you're looking for that lost title that you just need to name yourself something. So then you have it like in your head, I'm an entertainer. That's it.
Yes.
You entertain. You need to make content. You're a creator or whatever. You get to use your creativity, blend it in with your business mindset, and try and make something out of it. You've created a brand. Now what else can you do with it? We got the clothing going, and it's more sufficient than it was than ever going into this year.
The thing about that too that I find kind of funny, but you know, like we're the type of guys where, like, if we want something, we kind of go for it. And it's crazy because so you started with just a tripod and a GoPro.
Yeah.
And you know, like in your mind, you thought, okay, I need to hook up with like a network who can, you know, put us on. And even like, but so what we did was we basically just, everything we wanted, we just did. We're like, okay, we need a network to put it on. Well, let's build a network.
Let's build our own.
We need a platform for say this or that or the clothes. We just did it ourselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like instead of rather reaching out to somebody or looking around like who could we kind of partner up with, we were like, I don't see anything stopping us from creating our own version of whatever it is, because you can't even really label Danger Cats or DC Media or whatever you want to call it. You can't really like pinpoint us to one genre or like.
No,
like,
it's hard to explain what we do.
Because even, you know, you go to label us as an entertainment company. Well, how do you explain the clothes? You know what I mean? It's like we're so much more than just a YouTube video star. You know, like you're so much more than what you started as with your tripod and GoPro. Yeah. And it seems like each week that passes, we have all these ideas that we bring to life and, you know, turn into like tangible fucking business ventures. Where I heard you and Johnny talking on the podcast. I listened to it this morning, but you guys kind of hinted towards our next venture that
which we got the nod, and we can kind of talk about it now.
Okay,
we can kind of talk about it.
Why don't you bring that in very loose terms?
Very loosely, we are going to bring Stripper Mania to action, and I have never been more excited about something in my fucking life. So I'm gonna leave it at this. Take 1999 Raw is War and bring it to the stripping world, and it's going to be fucking magnificent. I am putting so much time and effort into this that it's going to be, oh man, this event is gonna, like, we're gunning for October of this year. I'm guessing I got a date in mind. October 15th, first ever Stripper Mania is going down, and it's going to be fucking, I don't even want to like leak too many ideas or anything like that, or how we're going to structure it. It's just take wrestling, take pole dancing, combine them into one, and we are doing that as an event.
Sit back and relax.
Yeah. Oh man, that's going to be fucking fire.
And see, that is a prime example of us kind of just consistently turning water into wine. You know, like we're just like out of thin air. It's just like, okay, so Hack shows up and fucking starts drawing on a whiteboard, and next thing you know, it's like,
let's make some calls.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's make some calls. Okay, we need a vote. So, who wants to do this? Who thinks that this could work?
Less than 30 hours, we had it approved by like a fucking commissioner, and next thing you know, it's like, okay, this is already in motion.
There was one guy that we needed to talk to, and it was like getting a hold of him, making the call, and then we sat in with another guy that's probably going to join our team, or at least work with us anyways. And I talked to Sherwood, and I'm like, yo, homie, like, what do you think of this idea? That's fucking brilliant. yeah, do you want to do it with us? Yes, I'm in. Let's get going. I will make some calls. I'm going to make this happen and this, and this. And then all of a sudden it was like he called me back. Yeah, no, we got the nod. Let's start planning this right now. So now it's like, it's going to be next level.
Like
I can't fucking wait.
I would not be surprised if in a couple of years from now we had our own chain of hotels.
Yeah, no shit, right? Stripper hotels, and yeah, on the 3rd floor is the swingers club. We call it the boom boom room. Oh man.
And currently in there we have 3 couples, 7 singles, and
a guy getting his horn yanked on like it's a church bell rope.
$50 for entry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No kidding. But yeah, no, it's been a fucking wild ride. It's just like, I don't know. I think we're getting a little more respect and like people are kind of getting that it's more than just my dumbass fucking, you know.
Yeah.
Because the whole fucking start of it was just like, hey, yeah, that's the guy that said fuck Trudeau. And now we're trying to venture in a different path. And I thought it was going to be hard. I thought when I left the oil patch that this was going to die. I thought that you know, I need to work in the oil patch. I need to do this. But it's cool that all the fans and like the people that support us and stuff like that are more proud for the fact that I got out of the oil industry and I'm doing this. And like a lot of the Alberta fans, they're like fucking pumped that we're from Alberta.
Yeah.
They love the fact that we're
yeah.
And we're all small town kids.
Yeah.
Other than Jordy. Like you're from Morinville, I'm from Tabor, Jordy's from Wainwright, and then Johnny's from St. Albert. So it's just like all these small towns connecting in one, and now we're in a big hub. But it's cool that I thought for sure that I was gonna get ripped on for not working in the patch no more, but so many more people were like, dude, that's fucking awesome that you do this full time.
Well,
it's so cool.
You know what I think with that too is the reason you get so much support from the patch workers and stuff like that is because stepping out of that element and kind of going into this has allowed you to do it full time. Where you know, you get to bring entertainment to their pockets or wherever they're watching it from full time, and you know, it allows them to have that entertainment and have access to that entertainment all the time now, rather than you're working fucking, you know, whatever your shift work was, where you know, you didn't have a lot of time to do it and you get a video out when you could. But now it's just become a lifestyle where it's like, and it's the thing with that too is I feel like a lot of the misconception with what we're doing is a lot of the stuff that, you know, kind of got you to where you was parody. So, you know, a lot of the stuff that we're doing now, and by stuff I mean kind of all this like business side of things, isn't taken as seriously as it should be. Like you know, even when they hear, you know, even when they hear we have our own like television network and that stuff, they're like, well, you know, how do you just put YouTube videos on a television network? Like, how does it, I don't want to pay for your rants. It's like, well, his rant, like, you got to realize that like you have so many fucking darts on the board at this point. You know what I mean? Like, you have your rants all the way down to, you know, you're in Jordan's hockey night in Fuckville. That, but it's all like that stuff's all parody, which is funny. Like, cause like, you know, some people don't want to watch the same old Don Cherry, Ron McLean. Like, they want to hear a fucking alternative kind of, you know, a little more exactly. So
raw.
But I think a lot of people carry that over to our more serious side of things, where, you know, we do have our own TV series that we're producing that are homegrown and that are, you know, right out of your backyard, basically, like the still shots in Leduc or wherever that is, right? So I think just over time kind of we'll gain more credibility that way and let people see that we're more than just, you know, like, you're more than just a YouTuber now, right? Like, you're a businessman. You got your own network. You're running a fucking fully functioning clothing line, like, that's going all the way, like you were saying today, on the podcast with Johnny there, like, we're shipping all the way to fucking North Pole.
That's crazy, eh?
You know what I mean? Like, if it's that big of a joke, how is that happening? Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's, you know, it's not that it's a bad thing that people see that, but I think, you know, they're just they've just painted the entire wall one color when it comes to Danger Cats, rather realizing it's kind of like, you know, multiple stories and floors of, you know, we got a lot going on. We got a lot more coming on too, you know what I mean? Like, But like I said, I think over time that smeared kind of, perspective of us is going to change once this app kind of grows to where it's supposed to be, and this and that, and kind of more people get on board with like the serious things that we're doing, as well as just making parody stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just getting it out there and talking about it more and promoting it more and showing what we do too.
Exactly.
We spent so much time on the road last year, man.
Yeah.
Like we put a lot of fucking miles on our body, and that just counts from all the boozing. And then you got to wake up hungover as tits like that. When me and you went to FRCC, it was like we drove all the way to Waldron, Saskatchewan. That's a 9-hour drive. We drove back and all those mishaps happened. And then we got to get back. We unloaded, we inventoried everything, and it wasn't even a fucking 48 hours. We were on the road again to Camrose and setting up another booth for another 4-day fucking weekend.
That led all the way into November, December, when you know Jordy and I had to go film a TV series in Chicago and Wisconsin, and I came back. I had 72 hours to get my shit together because we were off to Vegas. It's like, what on earth is going on? You know what I mean? Like,
and it's
fucking anarchy, man. Like, it's absolute anarchy, but it's for all the right reasons. Like I said, it's like I wouldn't be this invested if it was a big fucking joke. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, it's so much more than like, just the hockey night and fuck bills that we bang out in one day. It's like we have a bigger picture in mind, and like we have, we're looking into the future with all of our stuff, and not even for us, but like just for the community. Like I said, we started a local TV network that, isn't a Netflix that's playing goddamn American movies or Australian movies or this and that. Like, this is stuff that's right in your backyard that we're bringing to you in TV fashion, and I think that's great. Like, if I wasn't a part of this, I would be absolutely stoked to hear that somebody had started a local network where I got to watch shows based out of Edmonton or anywhere in Canada that like I can relate to. Like, that shit's fucking cool. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and in our fan base, I guess I don't even like calling them fans. Like, I just feel like that puts you on a pedestal. It's almost we've created something more than just it's a fan base. I feel like people,
they're danger cats.
Yeah, man, straight up. Like there's no other way than painting them like. You can't say, "Oh, I'm a fan of Uncle Hack." No, you're a danger cat. It's just something like you can't like boil it down to a single thing. There's so many other people of walks of life. Like, there's old dudes that just love what we do. There's young dudes.
There's like, it's insane.
There's teenagers. There's older. I mean, we get a lot of offside on some shit, but that's just whatever. At the end of the day, you know what? Like, if people are like, "You guys are sexist and you do this and that," we don't tell anybody to do anything that process. Like, if you don't feel comfortable, sure, do we push the envelope? Like, "Hey, don't want to be a pussy and jump into that table." Of course, because I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, I'll do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we don't. I don't know the proper word. Like, you don't degrade people. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And whether it's race, sex, or anything like that, we welcome anybody. And like,
if you're a danger cat, you're a danger cat.
Straight up.
There's no skin color to that. There's no religious background to that. Like, we're open. Like, and it's not even like we're a gang. You know what I mean? Like, we're not a gang. We're like, we're just this. We're an entire collective that has, spread all the way to the reaches of
just straight up party
the Netherlands
animals.
And shit like that. Like, but and you know what? I can't, like I said this before on another podcast that I was on, but it's like you don't see that with any other type of brand. No. You don't see anyone throwing hands for Nike or fucking, like taking in that much vested interest into a brand like, Adidas or Puma. It's like, it's just like, it's such a different beast. You know what I mean? Like, and even when we were in Vegas and when we were at the High Roller, I remember I'm running to the bathroom and was trying to find it, like just like literally on the point of pissing my pants, just booking it, and I can hear somebody running behind me. I'm like, oh fuck, like security, like I'm fucked. I don't know what I did, but like maybe you can't run in this area. This was like after Jordan.
Think you stole something?
Yeah, exactly. This was right after Jordan got hauled off the property for falling off the In-N-Out sign with his ass out. So I'm like, fuck, maybe they're on to me now. But I look behind and it's some kid, he's running behind me. He's like maybe 11, 12 years old. And I go to let him by. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this kid's going somewhere too at a quicker pace than I am. And he stops me. Because I was wearing the Danger Cats hat. He's like, I see your guys' stuff on YouTube and this and that. And like, this is the first like moment I had ever had. Like, I've seen it with you a lot. I've seen you get fucking hoarded before. And it was the first time that like somebody has recognized me and like stopped me for it. And I thought initially, I'm like, this kid has to be Canadian. Like, he's got to be from Calgary or something like that. So he takes a picture with me. His dad takes the picture for us. And I'm like, where are you from, little man? He's like, San Diego, California.
Crazy.
And it was at that moment that I realized, I'm like, holy fuck, like, we have reached people who I never thought we would reach.
Yep.
And you know, like, it's not like this kid gets in trouble for watching Danger Cats and this and that, and his parents fucking hate him for it, because his dad was absolutely stoked to take the photo for us. Like, he thanked me after, shook my hand, like, said he watches this shit too. And I'm like, holy fuck, like, I think we hit a different collective and demographic of people that you know, they don't feel like they are a part of anything else, right? Like, I feel like a lot of and I've heard guys tell you this like in person at events where they're like, Uncle Hack, like, thank you for everything you've done, and thanks for like the Danger Cats and just starting all this, because I finally feel like I found something that I'm a part of. Like, whether they didn't grow up playing on a sports team and they didn't really have that, you know, collective or conglomerate that they were like, no man, like, I'm a part of these guys. Like, they've never had that before, right? Like, and now they're walking into a bar in their local town wearing Cats gear, and they got honeys taking pictures with them. They're like, they're king shit, like, just for being a part of fucking what we got going on. So like, that's what I understand when you're like, you know, they're not fans because they're still right there with us. You know what I mean? Like,
they're on the front lines.
Fans to anyone else, they don't mean anything, but the Danger Cats mean absolutely everything to us, because they're the reason we fucking wake up and do this in the morning. You know
100%. I mean? And I got a ton of like, with that Bell Let's Talk thing, and like, you know, we take mental health pretty serious around here, because like, man, all of us have had mental fucking breakdowns with this. You know, no money, you're starving, you're trying to figure out how to do this, all the stress levels and all that. And like, I got like, I'd say a handful of messages, like, not to fucking be like, oh yeah, fucking, but like a bunch of kids being like, man, thank you so much, and like, just thanking this being created. And it's like, man, like,
well, and you know what,
that means more. That's that currency of like emotion, that emotional currency is priceless. You can't put a price on it. It's not like, that takes the struggle of being broke and everything, it erases it, and you realize that you're doing something better than what you intended to do.
Yes. And you know, with that too, it's like, that was huge to kind of like show our true colors with the Bell Let's Talk and post that on our social media, because it kind of, it separates that the difference between where they're like, you know, they almost see Uncle Hack kind of as like
this obnoxious dickhead.
Well, and not even that, but you seem invincible to them, where they're like, you know, like, oh, like, I'm struggling so goddamn hard, and you know, like, the Danger Cats, blah blah blah, Uncle Hack, like, he's great, but it's almost like they think you're this kind of weird, but
unreachable,
like,
in a sense.
And not even that, but it's like you're kind of above the stigma of mental illness, where they're like, well, Uncle Hack couldn't be depressed, like, he's blah 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 and this and that. But it's like, to show them that you're human too, and you bleed just like they do, and that everybody could, you know, struggle with mental illness, and that we're aware of that, and that we're aware of, you know, like, if you are in a dark time, like, you know, like, we are fucking there for you. There's no barrier between you, them and us, right? Like, Absolutely. It kind of like, you know, dropped you to their level, where they're like, well, fuck, you know, if Uncle Hack can struggle, then I can struggle too, and it's okay, like, but it's gonna get better. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like a lot of people appreciated that, because it kind of, you know, took you down from this like invincible pedestal, and really showed that we're human as well, and we bleed just like they do. And like, you know, if it's not us personally struggling, we know people who have struggled, and who, like me, I've lost multiple people to suicide and mental illness, where, you know, it's good to remind people that everybody struggles. You know what I mean? Like, it's just because fucking Uncle Hack has, you know, started this huge fucking empire and this and that, it's not like he's that guy when, you know, like, he's leading us all into battle, that he's not scared either. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like we're all human, and it's okay to be fucking human. Like,
Oh yeah.
like
100%.
emotions change with the goddamn wind, and there's nothing we can really do about that other than accept it. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and how are we going to get better?
Yeah, how, what decisions are you going to make to further yourself?
Exactly,
And like
exactly.
I had a gentleman message me the other day, and he said that he was kind of going through some hard times, and it's like, man, I was like, I can tell you all the things in the world and tell you that you can be great and this and that, but if you don't believe it,
Yes.
in your, like, you take those words and you say it to yourself and you don't believe it, then you're going to have a tougher time. I can sit here and tell you, like, I can fucking tell you all the self-help bullshit that you need to do something, but it has to be you that makes a decision at the end of the day. And it's like, you know, sometimes, like, even with us, like, we've all kind of gotten to that point where we're all like brothers now, and sometimes you just need that, like, man, fucking, you're in a slump, you need this, and like, I'm the type of person that you just need to tell me, like, fucking wake up. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying, like, go up to, if your buddy's having a tough time, wake up, smell the rock and like, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, like, my personality type is like, you know, like me and you had the conversation when I had a mental fucking breakdown last, like, at the beginning of this month.
Yeah.
And I lost my mind on everybody, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck this, this is stupid, like, I'm broke, fuck this. And then, like, it's kind of like, well, you were like, dude, fucking check yourself at the goddamn door, you moron. Like, you know, then, like, that's how I operate.
Yeah.
And everybody's different.
And see, this is kind of like a perfect example, and I'll tie back to what I was saying earlier. Is a lot of the people who follow you, they don't see that side of you, right?
No.
So they just see what you project online.
Yeah.
And it's almost like when you see you're watching the Hollywood films and this and that. You know, we see Vince Vaughn, we see all these guys in the movies.
Robin Williams.
We see him in movies like Miss Doubtfire or whatever, and we're like, you know, fuck, that guy's living life. Like, you know what?
He's the happiest
and
guy
you're
on
at
the planet.
home, you're struggling, and just the way they project everything on TV, everything's okay. And I feel like it was good for us to kind of, through the Danger Cats platforms, let everyone know that we do support the fuck out of Bell Let's Talk and, you know, mental illness awareness and, you know, suicide prevention, because a lot of the people who watch you, they kind of just see the videos we put out, and they don't really see the real side of things, where, you know, where you do have breakdowns, and there are days where you do have bad days, and, you know, you're not feeling it. Yeah, they might not see that, and they might think that, you know, you're invincible, but it's like, we're all in the same boat, and we all feel, you know, different emotions, and whatever it is, whether you're struggling at work or financially or even emotionally, or you just got out of a relationship, like, we all go through that. And to know that everybody, like, to know that even one other person goes through that and it's not in your own head is fucking incredible. Never mind knowing that, you know, like, the guy that they say they follow the Cats, and they're one of the dudes who just fucking look up to you like no tomorrow, or like a big brother or something. It's good for them to see that, you know, we're in that boat too, and that we're all kind of human, because it gives them the hope of, you know, like, okay, like, it isn't what you just see on TV, right? Like, everybody's fucking human.
Oh yeah,
it's just how it is.
Yeah, deep. We got real deep right there. That was deep. Well, brother, fucking, we're at the hour mark, but I feel like let's end this on a positive note. I need to ask you, what was your favorite moment of the whole summer, man? What was it?
I knew, like, this was coming too. I heard you ask it to Johnny.
I asked Walsh. I am asking you. I've already said mine. I've said it, and I've said it in Walsh's episode. I feel like I don't need to say it again in this episode.
No, that's fine. But you know what? Even coming in here, I was like, I knew this question was coming, and I was trying to just, like, filter them all in my head. But if I had to pinpoint the funnest time, or like the time in the summer that, or in the entirety of me being with you guys, my favorite / most important experience would have been in Las Vegas, when you and I got to meet Anthony Cools and fly over the Grand Canyon together. Because that, for me, kind of put into perspective, you know, because we spent the entire summer in an absolute fucking whirlwind. Like,
yeah,
we literally got spit out of an F5 tornado come like fall when we finally like looked back, like
right into a tsunami.
Yeah, exactly. But I would say the Anthony Cools experience, where we had got to meet him. We went to his private hangar. You know, he told us about kind of all of his accomplishments and
how he started.
And
was
how
incredible,
he started.
Man.
Yeah,
he's like in the same shoes we are.
And everybody's, you know, you got to start from fucking somewhere, right? So
for sure, yeah.
And it's not that it was just the fact that it was you and I, because I feel like whenever you and I are together, it's like shit gets real. You know what I mean? Like Walsh and LaRue, don't get me wrong, they're fucking absolute beauties, and we all have this, you know, tribal kind of pact when we're together, where, you know, we all kind of have our hierarchy and where we all stand and get along. But there's something about when Hack and I are together where the times just fucking, they get real. You know what I mean? From FRCC, like, I've like some of the best times I've ever had, it's just been us two like being fucking absolute danger cats together. So for us to kind of see somebody else who's came before us and, you know, do what he's doing and fly us over one of the most iconic places in the world, the Grand Canyon, in his private plane,
and the Hoover Dam,
and to get to see his fucking Lambos and his Ferraris and just everything that he worked so goddamn hard for to attain, and he now has it. And, you know, that whole experience, that whole day, from meeting him to flying over the Grand Canyon and everything, that changed my fucking life. Of like, it kind of solidified my perspective and my goals of, this is what I want to do, and this is how fucking hard I want to work to make sure that it works out, and nothing's going to get in my goddamn way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the boat party was fun, yeah, this and that, but you remember me in Kelowna after the boat party. like that was the funnest, one of the funnest times I've ever had in my life at that point. And like we were walking on what's the beach called there? Gyro. Yeah. We were on Gyro Beach or whatever, and I didn't even have a fucking brain. Like, as fun as that day was, it was like I had the wind sucked out of my fucking sails. I could barely even function, and it was like, it wasn't satisfying. Like, so that's why I can't really like say that was the best time, is because it didn't leave me like how that Anthony Cools experience left me, where I, like, you and I both, like, I remember right when we fucking got out of his vehicle, we looked at each other and we were just like,
okay,
like,
now we know,
man, like, gear,
I know what to do. Like, I figured it out now.
Like, let's gear up into 6th and fucking just like redline this bitch like right to the finish line,
right to the motor blows.
Yeah. And I would say that was my pinnacle moment in like the last kind of, ever since I started with you guys, because that like we were talking earlier, how it took so long to even accept the fact that, you know, we could get a career out of this, or that this could become a career. Like, it didn't seem real, and it didn't, it felt like, you know, we'd go 3 steps forward and 8 back somehow. And it wasn't until, you know, we flew over the Grand Canyon with Cools and kind of had that whole, like, you know, revelation moment where it all became real in that moment. And it was like, this is it. Like, you know what I mean? This is fucking it. Like, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care about any of the critics. Like, we have a lot more going on than just YouTube fucking skits. You know what I mean? Like, and we're going to prove that one way or another, right? So that was by far the pinnacle moment of
it's crazy that that's all it took. You know what I mean? To wake us up. It just, well, I mean, I get it, because you were finally able to look at somebody that he took his magic show, or his hypnotist show, and he was touring all these little places and doing these, like, kind of, call it shithole towns, like, kind of like, you know, you're bouncing around trying to make it, and then he makes it in Las Vegas, and now has a fucking show in Las Vegas that he has a lucrative living. And fuck, we seen it. Like, the guy had fucking, like you said, Ferraris, Lambo, fucking plane sitting there, and then novelty cars that don't even run. That was at the Playboy Mansion, for fuck's sakes. He just had this life. Not even, I don't know, like that. Like, those things don't fire me up. It's the fact that he went from where we are and took it to that.
Well, and I think the reason it was so effective for us was the fact that, you know, you hear those success stories, you read them on fucking Yahoo or wherever the fuck you see them, and you know, like, or even the documentaries that get made, and you're like, oh fuck, that guy went from rags to riches, like, but it's still so far away from you because you're just seeing it on a fucking dehumanizing screen, and you don't actually get the full effect of like
the interaction,
seeing that it's possible. It was the fact that, you know, we got to like see it tangibly in front of us, and almost reach out and grab it if we wanted to,
and able to pick his brain and like ask him questions that you would ask that person that you did have a chance to, like, you watched him on a screen, you went to his show. Now prior to the show, we were able to talk to him and talk like personal questions that you wouldn't be able to ask, like not overly personal,
and it completely rewires your whole brain
and
chemistry, where you're like, this is so attainable. Like, it's so much more attainable than just watching a Netflix documentary and thinking, oh, we can do this, because like, it was unbelievable. Like, I couldn't imagine of, you know, flying over the Grand Canyon, never, like, just like from a fucking helicopter tour you buy on the fucking strip in Vegas, where it's, you know, some, you know, no-namers take you up in their fucking company. But it's like, it's the fact that we went over that with somebody who started from the bottom, and now he's, you know, so far up, he's flying over the fucking Grand Canyon, right? So,
in his own plane.
Like, it was just like storybook. And to get, you know, to be a part of that experience and live it out for yourself was one of the most defining moments of, like, you know, my life, like, in terms of where I want to go with things, right?
Fuck yeah. Well, bro, just thanks for taking an hour out of your very exquisite life. Why don't you tell everybody where they can follow you at?
You can follow me on Instagram at I Am The Mind, or on Snapchat as The Liquor Sponge. As much as that might not apply during my fucking toxin cleanse, it's still The Liquor Sponge, and it's gonna stay that way until they shut her down.
There it is. And you can follow us at DangerCat69, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that bullshit. Also, if you want to get into some cats threads, head to dangercats.tv, use the code podcast69 to get 15% off your order. Also, DCTV, you can stream that at watchdctv.com. You can sign up there and then go over and download the app, and you can stream it right off your goddamn phone. Isn't that amazing, Brody?
Technology these days,
it is crazy.
We're bringing it right to your fucking pocket. And if you tune into Hack's show and the Danger Cats show 9 Lives, I'm actually heading home to edit the Vegas episode. So a lot of the stories that we talked about on this podcast are going to be coming to life visually for you to watch on DCTV. We have 3 fucking days of carnage filmed on my DSLR. Like, I found footage that I didn't even know fucking happened. Like, including, I will leak a spoiler in here. I was so fucking wrecked one day, but I knew that I still needed to get footage, so power moved by the cameraman. I'm fucking 12 out of 10 drunk, but I knew to fucking hit record on my camera. So yeah, there was 12 minutes that I just knew I needed to record, but I couldn't physically hold my camera for, that you're gonna get to watch in disgusting fashion.
Oh, beautiful. And that's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week with another Danger Cats podcast.
Beautiful. That was lovely. That was a great time.